Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi Rachel Zerin here with a thought for Shabbat. This week we read Parashat Terumah, and in doing so we launch ourselves into the next significant chapter of our people's story. Parashat Terumah, and indeed the rest of the book of Exodus, focus on the details of building the Mishkan, the tabernacle or the portable temple that the people will carry with them as they continue on their journey from slavery to the Promised Land. This section of our story is introduced with the powerful verse, Ve'asuli mikdash v'shachanti betocham. Make for me a sacred place so that I may dwell among you, or perhaps even so that I may dwell within you. The Torah then continues to share details about the materials that are to be used, the finest metals and jewels, the most brilliant of colors, the greatest quality of wood, all to be brought together to make both the Mishkan as well as the vessels within it and the tools that will be used to carry it. This certainly reminds us of the importance of the space that we create for ourselves in which to find the sacred. Just as that space can be found in the physical surroundings that we find ourselves in, Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel reminds us that parallel to the Mishkan is the idea of Shabbat. Just as the Mishkan is a sacred space in our physical surroundings, so too is Shabbat a palace in time, sacred space in our busy schedules in order to connect with the divine. These teachings combined remind us of how very important it is to create spaces in our own life to connect with a sense of holiness and the sacred. That space can be our physical surroundings, the places that we put ourselves or the places that we create. And those spaces can also be the spaciousness that we create in our life, the time that we create for ourselves to connect with a sense of the holy, to connect with a sense of the sacred, to connect with a sense of something greater than ourselves. Both Shabbat and the Mishkan remind us that creating sacred spaces takes detail, careful attention, takes intentionality. We do not find ourselves in sacred spaces by accident, except on those rare occasions when we are privileged to do so. Rather, it's important for us to construct those spaces, again, in our physical surroundings as well as in the time that we have and how we choose to spend it. And so, as we read Parashat Terumah this week, and as we continue on with the details of the Mishkan and Shabbat and the book of Exodus, I invite all of us to think about what are the spaces that we create already, that we have in our lives already, that allow us to connect with a sacred sense of the universe? And what are those spaces that we could yet still create for ourselves? Whether it is through daily rituals like taking time to look out the window in the morning and appreciate your surroundings, whether it is coming to Bethel, whether it is joining our voices in song, creating both a physical and an emotional space to connect with each other and a sense of holiness, or whether it is one of the myriad other ways that we can connect with the sacred, I hope that all of us will appreciate the value of focusing on creating sacred space and sacred time in our lives so that we can feel that holiness in our lives too, the same way the Israelites did in theirs. Shabbat Shalom.